everybody, and welcome to a new episode from our podcast Land Talks. Today, we have a very special guest.
Senator Beatrice Ogolla from the Senate of Kenya. I'm a member of the Lands, Environment and Natural Resources. That is a committee in Parliament that oversees land matters, environment matters, forestry, and wildlife. Those are key areas of sectors that really affect land restoration. I'm also a member of the ICT committee, a champion of the SDG forum in the Senate of Kenya and Parliament in generally, and a member of the Future Caucus of Kenya.
This is so impressive. Welcome to our podcast, Senator Beatrice. So my first question would be dealing with the women legislators in restoration.
Yes.
So as a woman legislator, what unique perspectives or contributions do women bring to the land restoration conversation at policy level?
As a legislator, a woman legislator, and especially in the land restoration program, women legislators are very key in the land restoration space because in our communities, women get involved in a lot of land-related activities. One of them is that in Kenya, most women are subsistence farmers. That means that women are so key to agriculture, which is a serious aspect of land restoration. Women, by their nature and activities, do traditionally cooking. They use a lot of firewood, and especially in my country, Kenya, women still, or people still use firewood. And that really contributes to the deforestation of our environment and a major contributor to land degradation. So women are key in this space as farmers and as members of the community that deal with the traditional roles. So this brings me to my representative role in Parliament. And as a representative of the people, I bring a lot of their issues into policy making. Key amongst them is the use of plastic bags in our country, which has been banned. And this was a very noble initiative by the government of Kenya.
Yes.
Now we see little use. It is not even there. We don't see plastics that used to choke our water bodies, plastic that used to block our drainage systems. And so with this ban, we can see the environment being at least brought back to what we expect.
It's really good to hear about this initiative.
Yes, but as I say, there's also a challenge to that. When we ban plastic as a country, there is need to extend this to the region. Because if our neighbors do not do that, then it creeps back to our country. But there is hope that in my country, we are members of the East African community, that now we are able, which has a parliament, and we are able to also take this to the East African parliament, which is in Arusha.
Okay, that's great to
know.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about empowering women at the local level.
Yes.
In Africa, for example, how can women at the local level advocate for and drive land restoration efforts in their communities?
Oh, it's amazing. Women can do that. In Africa, women can be drivers because women generally are great agents of change. Women, once sensitized, able to make a lot of changes in the way things are done. For example, one way in which women can contribute is the afforestation program. In my country, led by the President of the Republic of Kenya, we have a policy of working towards planting 15 billion trees by 2030.
15
and
billion.
This is an agenda that is driven by the government. Women can contribute this because women are serious agents of change. Secondly, as I've told you, women are also majorly farmers and subsistence farming. So if women are sensitized, women are able to get new techniques of farming which will help in land restoration. For example, mixed farming. Of course, women who do that satisfactorily. It is also important to note that women are much affected by effects of climate change. Recently in my country, we had massive floods. And with floods, women are so much affected because communities have to be evacuated and move from their homes. And who suffers most? Women and children. They lose property, they lose lives, but above all, a number of basic facilities, a lot of basic infrastructure. Women get denied from them because once the roads are cut, women are not able to reach hostels. Their children are not able to go to school. So I want to say that women are real agents of change, and if sensitized well, will be able to make a lot of impact.
Great, great. Okay, so Senator, let me ask you another question. What steps should we take to reshape forestry governance in ways that both adapt to and mitigate the impacts of climate change?
Our forest is so key in our communities. Once, it is important to note that it is our communities that have preserved forests, all the years, that have protected these forested areas. So it is important that communities are involved in the management of forests. One, we must sensitize them on the need for the forest. And once they accept the need for the forest, because it is from the forest that they're able also to get their food, it is from the forest that they're able to get a number of basic things, including good environment. The communities enjoy. The communities know that forests are very important. So we need to involve the communities in the protection, in the preservation of forests. One thing that can be done is that we can find sustainable ways of farming that involves the communities doing farming, even some of them within the forest. What I mean is that get crops, diverse crops that can coexist with the forest so that communities are able to benefit from the forest, at the same time protect the ecosystem. What I'm saying is that we need to involve the communities and diversify, get to many other crops that would be able to survive with the forest, and the communities are able to benefit from both. And in that way, the forest will be managed well, the forest will be kept well, and the forest will be preserved and protected.
Thank you so much. So my final question for you is, in your experience, what is one undeniable truth about restoring land? I mean, what consistent outcome we can expect when restoration is done in the ecosystems or landscapes in everyone's life?
Once a restoration is done, it will improve the livelihoods of communities, because land is about food. The communities will be able to have food. Land is about even our clothes. Land is about the environment. Land is about climate change. So if we are able to restore land, we'll have a more enriching ecosystem for our communities. Part of the reason some of the adverse effects of land degradation are even issues of insecurity, because once land is degraded, we have issues of floods, and next we have issues of drought. And with the drought, communities are not able to get to basic needs like water. When they scramble for water amongst communities, then the issue of insecurity comes in. In Kenya, where we live, we have a big chunk of our communities that keep cattle, that keep camels. And if they have no water, then they have to walk long distances to get water. And in the process, it leads to conflicts. So I want to say that if we are able to restore land, our land is our future. With our future, we can have food, we can have security, we can have water, we can have clothes, we can have all the resources that are on land. And so we must preserve and protect our land.
I can't agree more.
And I want to say that all governments must prioritize the issue of land restoration, because land is our future. All governments must put aside, because with no land, we have no future.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much for being with us today, and for our audience, please stay tuned for more episodes from our podcast that's brought to you by the G20 Global Land Initiative, Land Talks. Thank you so much, Senator, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.